All right. And so now it's time to move into our next segment. It's not really a segment name, I guess. It's just one of our discussions. We have been talking about all kind of wrestlers and statuses, like who is the GOAT, who's the most overrated, who's the great submission specialist. No, not the boat before you throw that in there, honey. But who is which? But we have never really talked about who is the most underrated WWE superstar. And the reason why I mentioned Christian in that guess, honey, is because I made a list that was created by ChatGPT that listed some of the examples of some of the most underrated superstars. And of course, Christian was on that list. So that's why I threw that out there, because Christian was already on my mind.
Makes sense.
And so for those that are listening to the audio version, some of the examples that we have as the most underrated WWE stars go from Shelton Benjamin, Cesaro, William Regal, Lance Storm, Molly Holly, Dean Malenko, Christian, Caval, and Tajiri. But we want to know from, of course, our host and from everybody watching this and those that are in the live chat, who you think is the most underrated superstar. And for some reason, I'm feeling deja vu right now with this. I don't know why.
You've done this before? You've been here before?
I feel like I've been here before, and with these exact people in this chat right now. It was like orange bubbles. I'm sorry, but it's just like crazy deja vu right now.
Are you sure? Wow.
Huh. Yeah, like I feel like I've been here before. That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
But honey, you're not just from this list. This is pretty much your pick. These are just examples that I wanted to throw up here. But I want to know from you, who do you think are some underrated WWE superstars? Doesn't have to be just one. Maybe you could do two, but it's up to you. Who's one that comes to your mind right now?
Damn, you know what's funny? William Regal's a very good underrated superstar. I'm trying to think of people that are not on this list.
But that's still a good list, though.
It is. Yo, Tajiri, man. Why did we pop so hard for Tajiri?
Tajiri had it, bro, because the mist, like, like it was just like, if you love Japan wrestling, like it was an ode to Japan, man. It is just, he always seemed to kind of find himself in the right moments of WWE history, like whether it was funny, whether it was taking bumps, like it was just like, we just thought like Tajiri was that dude. Like, who was the one that like had a huge crush on Tajiri and wanted to like date him? I forgot what diva that was.
Oh my
I
God.
don't remember.
That like they got into a relationship.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, why is it? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. It wasn't Tori. No. Was it Tori Wilson?
Was it Tori Wilson?
I don't even remember.
Or was it Stacy Kubler?
No, I think it was Tori
Wilson.
No,
it was Tori Wilson. It was Tori Wilson.
I'm almost positive it was Tori Wilson.
No,
They used to come out with him, and they used to go, like the crowd would go nuts.
Yes,
nuts.
It was Tori Wilson.
It was so funny. That was the time of like the Odd Couple or the the Latino Heat. You had Eddie in China and all of that. Like, oh my God, I can't.
You are absolutely right. It was Tajiri and Tori Wilson.
Okay, how about this? There's a name that's not on here. How about the intellectual savior of the masses, Damien Sandow?
Damien Sandow is so underrated.
Damien freaking Sandow had it. Man, one of my favorite times with him was when he was Mrs. Stunt Double, man.
Yes.
The D-lister. Like, it was freaking hysterical, but he had the mic skills. He definitely had the in-ring ability and that charisma. The crowd was so over for him. But they just never gave him that push. Like, and I feel like he would have done so good. That was at that time when, you had guys like Santino Marella, even, being hot at that time. And look at how crazy the crowd was for them. Like, they were just as, as elated as we get now if we see them.
I think he was one of like the first ones even too to have like a custom Money in the Bank case. I think he was the first one to do that. And then I would even say as well, Damien, like we've always talked about how Miz does a great job with uplifting talent and roster and people on the card, but I would argue Damien Sandow is the one that actually was saving Miz during that time. I feel like he is the one that definitely carried that entire show when it was them as a tag team. Like, yo, when he had the toy tag team belts with the I was like, yo.
But again, that's that buy-in, right? That's that buy-in to that character work.
So good.
Because we remember that. We might not remember a single match, but we remember him coming out with those tiny belts. We doing the stunts, which I always felt they had backwards. He should have been the one taking the beatings for Miz instead of the Miz taking the beatings, but it worked that way too. And
the way he
just
held
mimicking, just mimicking. But no, I that's a good pick. Yeah. I got a laundry list of names here.
Can I name one more?
Yeah.
How did y'all feel about Test?
Triple H got Test. Triple H did Test in.
They screwed that. I know that. But as far as like before all of that, he had a look. He had size. He definitely had
an elbow drop off the top.
He would do
big
that.
Man.
That power bomb he would do, or that test driver. The test driver was pretty dope. But they just never.
I like his music too.
But that's probably one of my favorite theme songs.
But I couldn't ever. Once someone told me, they was like, "Yo, why is Kevin Nash's little brother out here?" I could not unsee that.
I never saw him. I've never unseen. Who said that?
I never capped on
My
that.
homeboy said that, like the pants, everything. I was like, and I couldn't unsee that. It was like the General Mills version, the Great Value version.
I never even thought
Kevin
about
Mills.
I was like, damn. Like don't get me wrong. I think it was there.
It was there, and he had. But if they didn't put him with that storyline and whatever, like
no, because I think that should have been what could have catapulted him into being there. But it just was like, yo, like, man, I don't know. It was just something still kept missing with Test. Like, I don't, you know what it is? Test didn't have great mic skills. That's
no,
what
he didn't.
Unfortunately, he was in an era where mic skills was fire.
Yeah,
like you better bring it.
You better literally bring it, because that was
you had to bring it on the mic, and so it was just like you could tell within a lot of those stuff, like a lot of those stories, like he was the one that was being carried. Melvin Nash is hilarious.
Y'all chill out, man.
That's diabolical.
But that's what it kind of felt like. Like it. So I don't know if I can put him on the underrated category, but he was. I feel like he was definitely a pivotal part in other people's catapult to stardom, like Triple H. Like, had Triple H and him not been that thing of Mary and Stephanie, I don't think you wouldn't have gotten the Helmsley McMahon era without Test being a part of that.
Yep.
It just sucks on the back end. Test they didn't maneuver him. They didn't position him better.
They only positioned him to be a part of a tag team with Albert, bringing in Chris, TNA.
Yeah,
they were a hot tag team, but other than that, that's all that became of it.
Yeah, I think he would have. If he would have had a great Intercontinental Championship run, I think we could have had this conversation.
They tried to do something with him after, like in the 2000s and stuff like that, when he went solo and he cut his hair and they changed his music. But
then everybody looked generic. Like
everything was
he looked like Kevin Nash. If you'd have made that hair white, I wouldn't have known the difference. I was like, is that Kevin Nash?
If you had long hair and it was the early 2000s, you cut it. And you started looking very cookie cutter after that.
Yeah. And it became a problem. For me, mine is on here already. Christian. I think Christian is the most underrated WWE superstar. Like, this man should have had multiple championship runs. Like, I think like they dropped the ball with not having him and Edge be one of the biggest feuds for like this is very debatable, but I'm throwing it out there. I'd have rather seen, after Edge and the John Cena run, give me Edge and Christian fighting for the title. Like, I think he was one of them. I think he had the mic skills. I think, again, he's Captain Charisma. Like, we had so much potential with Christian that I don't think that they utilized. And the fact, like, when I saw them just making him ECW champion, I was like, bro, come on. Like, he would have been perfect to have won Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Right after. Oh yeah, no doubt.
There was so much potential there, and it was just like they did not give it to him because it's like, yo, if you're gonna make Jeff world champion, how the fuck is Christian not one of those people you consider
Captain Charisma, man?
Well,
come on, man, the pit.
And that's when they should have pulled that trigger, man. When he was going up against Cena, I think he may have been Intercontinental champion at the time.
Yeah,
not Cena, but Christian. And they had some really good back and forth, man. Like this is Cena's new heel for now. And he had the heater with Tyson Tomko, was that his name?
Yeah.
So he had a bodyguard too. It all lined up for Christian to become at least champion during that time. And but they never pulled the trigger on him, man.
But if you think about it now, without all of that, we wouldn't get the Christian we have in AEW.
The father.
Hey,
Christian,
man. Yeah, you give me.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
His pyro budget was like Cody's back in the day, man. Like,
yes, it was, bro.
That falling pyro, man. Oh, so good.
Another
didn't it go both ways though? Like
it was raining. It was just raining.
Oh my god, it was gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah. Another one I have is Jazz. I think Jazz was just before her time. I think she was just before her time, yo. She was just born.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah, she was just in the wrong era. She was just put in the wrong era. Like if Jazz was here now,
child, Jazz versus the Juggernaut.
Right. And then the thing is, you know, that kind of also got me bummed because I was like, I hate to say it like this. Actually, I don't hate to say it like this. Jazz is another one of those who got the same product, had got the same results as R-Truth to John Cena, because Beth Phoenix is just the white Jazz. That's it. In every aspect. And if memory serves me correct, didn't Jazz and Beth have the same finisher? Doesn't Jazz do that thing where she lifts them up and throws them down?
I feel like I've seen her do it.
I want to say they both had the same finisher.
Huh. Gotta go back to the videotape on that one.
Boza, let me know if I'm wrong, but I really was just like, wow. So Beth Phoenix is just Jazz.
Yeah.
That's it. And Jazz, because I remember when Jazz used to come to the ring and the stuff she would do, I'm like, because she was the reason, like, again, like, for me, I can't speak for everybody else. Gas mask, they're really not, if you think about it. I want you to really give that some thought on personality, persona, everything. They both, outside of her being named the Glamazon, literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. But when Jazz came out, like during that time where it was just like bra and panties matches, and really outside of Trish Stratus and Lita,
nobody was wrestling at that time.
But when Jazz came in, like Jazz made you want to watch the match. It's like, hey, yo, it's like, yo, who is this girl?
Like she's coming to wreck house.
Yeah, it's like, who is this chick? And it was just like when you'd see it, but it was like, yo, this was a time. Yeah, Taz is definitely one of those. I wouldn't say Taz is underrated. I wouldn't say Taz is underrated.
His WWE run wasn't great. Like he came in, he choked out Kurt Angle, should have put him like in good position.
He had an amazing like debut.
But his ECW run was amazing.
But again, but that's the thing too. Gimmick wise, it's like, yo, you were great for where you were. Like you were great for because of what ECW was. That worked well for you. But now when you're in a show where we're outside the hardcore aspect, it's like, okay, you're no Dean Malenko. You're definitely you're not Benoit.
Yeah, but the other thing is, a lot of his matches weren't like hardcore matches, and like during his big run at ECW, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when he got to main roster, Taz is a smaller guy too, and it was visible when you saw him. But you could still have done something more with him. That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely
put him on commentary, and I still like that was still pretty good too.
So. Oh yeah. But I couldn't classify him as like underrated. I don't think he was. I think he was where he needed to be. And then Shelton Benjamin for me, same. I'm just like, yo, that was one of the
after the classic with Shawn. How do you not?
I'm like, how did we not like? The only thing I would probably say what held him back was mic skills.
Oh, good God.
But if I'm just being honest, Shelton Benjamin should have been a Paul Heyman guy.
Oh, my good God.
I think he could have been.
I think he would have been a great Paul Heyman guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep, it is confirmed by Courtney. Yes, both had the same finisher. Agree with Jazz had a wonderful interview during. Yes, she did during Creating the Ring red carpet. I think that's out. If it isn't though, but just make sure to go check on WWT to catch all of that Queen of the Ring footage featuring, of course, the PR princess Courtney, and as well as Wrestling with Honey's commentary and footage over there as well. But like I said, Beth Phoenix, Jazz walked so Beth Phoenix could get all her glory. But she was just, she was just ahead of her time and just was put in the wrong era, in my opinion.
True.
Agree.
Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
No.
That asshole just fucked his own career up. No. And was given so many chances.
He was.
So many chances to be great and just can't get right. That was him. He just couldn't get right. You saw that in AEW too. It was like bro, like what more do you need? Like they putting you with everybody major. They're putting you under all of these wings and like, what are you not getting right?
It ain't clicking.
And he was swimming with sharks around that time too, still,
right.
Man. Like he was Yeah. It was too early. It was way too early.
It was way too early for him. And then my last one, and I'll move it over to you, Deonne, which I feel like.
How many did we do? How many did you do?
I mean, we were just talking. That's why you said you had a list, so I was like, all right.
I was going to strategically pick from this. Okay,
12-10, y'all. 12-10. That's all I know.
Okay, well then there you go.
Well, 110. 110.
I had to say, wait, what? I was like, because we
Excuse
passed. Molly Holly, I think she does not get her flowers. And I think they did her whole run wrong, in my opinion. But yes, it's on you now.
Oh no, I didn't mean to brush it.
No, you just said list. So I was like, okay, well then let's just discuss some of these that are right here. If we get to this list.
Also love this list. I would have picked Christian too, for all the same reasons you said. They should have put the strap on Captain Charisma way earlier than the ECW title. How about that? Even he's world champion, but by then he wasn't. Yeah, it was too late, man. It was too late. Love the pick of Shelton Benjamin. Let's see. Oh, I got D'Lo Brown on my list too. I love D'Lo. I loved D'Lo Brown, man. I don't know if he was like. Let's just start from like the beginning with D'Lo, man. He was part of the nation. He wasn't wrestling, but he was taking bumps. Then he became like full on D'Lo Brown. Rock got him the chest protector and went through the roof after that, man. After the nation run, and then he had a run with Mark Henry, there wasn't much left for D'Lo at that time, man. I think he had the mistake with or the unfortunate accident with Draws, and just didn't sort of rebound after that, unfortunately. I like Tajiri's on the list, man. I love that.
Can we just also talk about though how D'Lo always looked like he was on cocaine?
Well, he'd do that a lot.
Right. D'Lo walked out like he had just took a fresh line in Gorilla. It was just like, all right, let's go.
That's the real deal now. I put Rhino down too. I thought Rhino could have been a good run. What happened? Did I miss something?
No, I was just still laughing at what he just said about D'Lo.
Because when you start thinking about it and then playing
I popped. Yo, man. I always wonder, how?
Like, what you want,
man?
Bro?
And I think he talks about the story of how like when he came out and he just started doing the head thing and the walk and shit. And like Vince kept saying, like, whatever that is, do that. And he was like, okay. And that's what he kept doing. Like it just worked. And then when he was on the on the freaking, I can't do that shit to save my life. I break my neck if I do that shit.
Right. That's what you do. I'm limited now. I'm doing it.
I don't know how, like,
one of the best frog splashes ever, too, man. I like
it.
Absolutely. Hands down.
It was so different. So different. I put Elijah Burke down, too. I loved Elijah Burke in ECW.
Yes.
The new, what was the new era of ECW, or new breed, or whatever they called themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
the fact that the fact that he never held the ECW championship and he was the new.
Yes, he did.
When did he hold it?
He was the last one. He was the last one to hold it.
No, Ezekiel Jackson wasn't it?
Oh, that was him. That was him. No. I'm sorry. Ooh,
I don't think he ever held that title.
I don't think he did.
But it was like him versus Punk. It was him and like that. They were the faces of ECW.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved Elijah Burke, man. I like the double knees finisher. Like he was a cool character, especially for ECW at that time, too. A very not obscure one, and I'll end with this one and one more. The Brian Kendrick was a phenomenal gimmick.
that was great.
I enjoyed the Brian
with the plan.
Yeah.
Like I love the music. I loved his gear.
Yes,
I saw a post.
He was funky.
I saw a post when they showed a picture of the cruiserweight title, and they was like, "Who's the first person that comes to mind when you see this title?" And I was like, "The Brian Kendrick."
The Brian fucking Kendrick.
But here's the thing: he even had like a main event run a little bit.
Almost.
When they did that championship scramble.
Yeah,
like technically he's been
that was great.
Technically, he's been WWE champion.
For
2 minutes. So Raven.
I consider those names to be WCW wrestlers. Like he was better there. I feel like he was better. I mean, Raven was great when he became hardcore champion and he was a WWE, had that slight run. Billy Kidman, same, but I think they're more WCW.
He's where he's supposed to be. He's where
he's supposed to be. But
what's the one you said before? The Brian Kendrick. What was the one you said before that?
Who did I say? Sorry. Elijah Burke. Yeah.
Elijah Burke. Yeah. But I was just gonna say, shout out to him. He is the current all Caribbean wrestling champion. So glad to see him still thriving and doing his thing. And
he did a lot after WWE too. So yeah, but my last one for the Brian Kendrick was great theme music. But my last one for the women's division, who would kill today, obviously, would be Victoria. I thought Victoria coming in with that crazy, again, unhinged characters, man.
Give me
unhinged characters and her finisher. What was it called? The Widow's Peak? Was that it?
Widow's Peak.
Widow's Peak.
That looked like it hurt every time.
Hey, you know what? That's another one that just wrong era.
True. You put her, take her now, put her here.
Or even when it was just the women's title, like before the Divas era or after, would kill right now.
Yeah, those are my underrated ones, man. I never saw the appeal for Cesaro personally for me, but
Cesaro's matches were incredible. Like I think that the King of Swing, once you started branding him, I think it worked because of his performance. It was one of those small things I think that was missing because I started getting the pull between them. But I think when he started to get his shine with that heel run, not that face run, and he became King of Swing, they should have started with that first instead of bringing him on as a heel.
Yeah,
I think that's what kind of like really lowered his stuff. So, but let us know in the comments though of this video, who do you think is the most underrated wrestler in WWE? WWE wrestlers, not WCW. We will most likely do WCW most underrated wrestlers.
Underrated. Should have been world champion.
Juventud Guerrero.
The juice, boy. The juice.
Shit.
The juice. Hoovy was bad, man. I love Hoovy too.
Love the Juventud Guerrero, man. All right.